multiple USBs and HDMI. These are your Wi-Fi antennas, right? So you want to make sure that these are up at all times. Your new pieces that are going to be coming through, you're going to get another free Wi-Fi device. What I'm learning about this classroom or this school, because I've been in every classroom today, is that the Wi-Fi is a little slow. So we have another Wi-Fi module that you'll see added here. So you only see 2 here. You'll be receiving 4 little tchotchkes. You won't be playing with anything here. There is a manual turn off underneath, so here's the power button. So kind of put your hand underneath here, feel around. There is a master power shutdown. Don't do it, because you probably will forget to turn it back on. You're like, I don't know why it's not working. A couple tools to use so you want to go to myviewboard.com. So if you guys are you guys logged into Wi-Fi here?
You guys have, yeah. I'm just gonna. Where do you want to stay?
Myviewboard.com.
No,
I'm good.
Okay. If I go through here and I go.
Hey, you just want to yes.
Yeah, you should be able to log in as a guest or a BYOD, bring your own
so the
device.
whole screen is touch sensitive, just like a
100, yeah.
like
So you have 20-point touch. So you can have a couple kids up here, and you can have multiple things going on. So it's 20 points. So you can, if you want to do 2 hands or 4 hands doing this, you have all the access to do that. So this is myviewboard.com. This is something that you guys are going to want right away. Aside from this application, you want your IT staff to install that onto your board, because you, at this point, you can then go to your desktop, regardless if you have a touch screen or not, and you can learn what My View Board really is. This technically right now, if you look at it the way that we're seeing it, it's like a PC, right? It's just like a regular computer, something that you see from your phone. And so we haven't actually gone into My View Board, the actual application, but you guys are going to want to utilize that program as like your PowerPoint and everything that you can save. You guys can share content, and I'm going to blow your guys' mind in about 5 minutes with that. It'll go right over your head. So the things that are the most important is making sure that that application is set to your board, okay, or your laptop, your PC, whatever it is, and you log into myviewboard.com, okay, open that bad boy up, and you're going to want to get an account, okay? And it's gonna say, let's just play around with it really quick. So it'll be sign up. You guys have a .org and a .net. You guys wanna make sure that everything you affiliate with your view board and your PC and your phone, because we're gonna get that crazy, you're gonna wanna make it to your .org, no .net, okay? Put no .net anywhere. If you have .net here as a registered for your view board and your view board is on .org, it's not gonna read together. So .org, all the way across the board.
I did mine on .net already because I just signed in with Google.
Okay, well we can create another one. So this is your unique view board name. Okay, so whatever name you put in there, that's what's always going to be your login, basically your identity, right? So if you ever wanted to cast through your phone, or somebody wanted to cast to you, and it said, My name is Lena Cole. So I did capital L-E-N-A, capital C-U-L-L. That's what I made as my unique board name. And I'll show you where that's important in a minute. Your email, which is .org, okay? And then your password, make sure they log in together. It says by clicking sign up, you agree, right? So get out of here, and you click sign up. And then it's gonna say, thank you for your application. Please go to your email, which is whatever your email account was, and click activate. If you don't click activate and you don't go through there, then it's not going to register you, okay? You'll have error. It'll just be an error. So what happens after you activate, right? This is just your big TV right now. You get out of here, right? This is My View Board that you want to save to your specials, right? Your favorites. Because all of these applications up here are going to be useful to you from your computer. So technically, you can be training in this classroom on this board just like we are, or you can be casting from your computer or your phone to the board. You don't actually need to be here or there. You could be over here with your phone. So a lot of these buttons are important. For instance, to actually your IT staff to download that application, you click that right there. And then it'll say, do you want to upload to 64? You can't do it, but they can. You can do it on your own PC at home, if you have a laptop at home that you want to upload so you can do your own trainings, right? In advance outside of this, you can download it. It's a free application. If you guys want to throw things, you see that paper airplane? If you want to share screens, you can do that too. You can go through education. See if anything's popping up. All right, internet's been a little slow today.
Do you want to move that table for you?
That would be fantastic. This has been the only room that has had this here. These usually, this type of stuff in front of a view board, probably not the best thing because you're kind of going around and you're going to bump yourself.
I thought this was your room, and I was like, why is she here?
I work for Viewsonic. I work for the company that I made. I help.
Of course you do. This is my brain. I'm sorry.
All good. All good. Okay, so basically, if you go to education, this is myviewboard.edu/education. Once you sign up, it'll show you teachers building lesson plans showing you how to do this stuff. Okay, so you're not left alone here. So this myviewboard.com, you're gonna want to make that as a favorite of yours on your laptop, not here, but on your laptop, so you can do trainings by yourself. You're not gonna do trainings unless we're teaching you right now. This is a rarity. We're gonna be teaching kids, and we're not gonna teach them those lesson plans that other teachers are doing, right? So we have our regular PC, okay? There's a couple weird things that most people don't realize is that this is an interactive board. So you're not gonna be standing here teaching, right? And usually you're not gonna be standing here teaching because a lot of people teach when you're actually doing it, you teach this way, right? Because you're writing things, right? That's the goal, is to write things. So right off the bat, we have a problem with this PC. Does anybody have an idea what it would be? It's kind of a weird off the wall thing. So all of these applications right now, all of these here, they're all like in the area that we're gonna be working in. So once we open My View Board, once you have this application, this is all touch interactive, right? It's all great and dandy, but now we actually wanna use an application, the application that helps us teach. You're gonna go into My View Board, and I'm gonna show you why. This all should be moved either to the center or above or below, because this is where we work. And if you see, is this Carlisle's class? What was this? So if you look onto the side, all of his dirty fingerprints are right here. Okay, so this is where he works because we're not teaching in the center here. And we're usually not teaching from here because we're writing this way over. So, and all of our content really stands this way. So there is our My View Board sign-in. You always pretty much want to utilize this program. It's like PowerPoint. It's all your interaction in the classroom. It's awesome. But you're not logged in. Okay, so once you get your login and you're activated, you can either download My View Board Companion on your phone, which is incredibly awesome. I'll show you why. Or you can go the old-fashioned way, pull up a keyboard and type in your email address and password that you had located on, that you built on your activation page with myviewboard.com. Or you can have this awesome application that is free called My Companion. So I have my login, okay? I'm gonna click My, sign in. This is my own personal, you will have yours, right, after you get your login. I sign in, my login was successful. Then I have this little kiosk here, right? So I am going to, instead of doing all this, I'm gonna just log through here, okay? So I'm just gonna pick up my phone and there we go. Give me just a second. If it didn't work, let's see.
This will work on an iPad too instead of a phone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Now you're logged in. You can log in from anybody's view board. As long as you have your My Companion, you can take all of the documentation, save it in myviewboard.com or through the web browser. You can save all of your content. Every time you log into any device whatsoever, you have this QR scanner reader that now pulls me up. This is how you know you're logged in. I'm Lena Cole. This is my interactive board. So again, why we're set up right now to want to move our applications that are over here, we're going to toggle back and forth, and we're going to get really confusing for a minute. So say now we're in an application, right? We signed in, we're ready to go, we want to put content up there, right? So we have this bar, we have this bar, and this bar will always stay the same. This little circles, that's our sign in, right? So if you ever want to sign in, you know who the sign in is, you can sign out if you want. So that will never move, and this will never move. This button here, this is our backgrounds. So say, after we get you all logged in over here, we can create settings. We can set the time of how long this thing is going to be on before it times out. It'll set a background for you every single time if you want that setting of your background. We can make casting available, which I'll show you here shortly. All of those things are kind of in this whole program here. So say we want a different background, okay? Say we're learning about baseball. We're going to click baseball. We can either apply the background to all pages or just this page. I always recommend this page because you could be working in other pages. This is our PowerPoint presentation, guys. So this page. All right. So I like baseball. You like baseball. We just watched the World Series. It was cool, right? So exit out. Now we're going to talk about the world. What do you got there? Are you Giants fan?
That's a Red Sox shirt, yeah.
Oh, awesome. There you go. Well, this is for you then, right? So we're in here and we want to talk about the World Series or any content that we really want. So now we're in this application called My View Board. If you have students up here or even for your personal content right now, we're going to say that this bar right here is your PowerPoint button, okay? So this is going to control the majority of what you guys are doing with pushing in content. If you have a kid up here, we're in teacher mode right now. You know why? Because this right here, from here to here, this whole stuff in there, that's all an application. Down here, that's our Windows device. Nothing will move into content through here. So the best way to do it, see that little teacher module? You click it, and now you've lost the entire screen, which is good because if students are up here, you don't want them toggling through your personal files or any of that, right? So that's student mode, teacher mode, okay? Now, you want to watch clips about the World Series? We wouldn't use this because we're in teacher mode right now, right? If we click this content that we pull from the internet is not going to pull onto My View Board. You actually have to utilize the Google button here, okay? Chrome button. Here we are pulling up content, so you can edit these however you see fit through your Google page. This is how it'll pop up. You can format it however you want. Say we want YouTube. Okay, and then in YouTube we want to talk about, let's see, where's my keyboard? There we go. I want to do World Series. Cool. So if we're going to want to pull content, right, that we're going to save and utilize later, if you only pull the picture and you bring it over, you're only going to get the picture. You actually have to grab the content. Oh. There. We have to grab the content and we can play your video. Okay?
You just drew.
I just grabbed content, so what we'll do here, pause it. All right, we'll just take that out for a
You
minute.
didn't connect it with anything on the left. You just pulled it to the left.
Yep, you just drag. So interactive, you just drag stuff, drag and drop. But you have to actually be in the application process. So we'll do it again really quick. You go to here. It's kind of distracting. Let's just throw you away. Okay. You go to the browser within the application. Okay. If you only grab the picture, come on. Our internet's slow right now, so if this happens, it's okay. It does happen. Come on. Come on, everybody. All right. If you grab the content will just drag and drop in. Okay? You just drag and drop. Okay. So now we want to add another page and we want to talk about something else. I recommend, guys, you guys get stylus pens. They're secure here. I recommend using them because fingerprints, lots of fingerprints, gets really dirty like those windows out there. This is a tool that you guys are going to work on. You can get sick off of these things if you don't use the pens. So anyhow, now we want to add a page. So this is our PowerPoint tool, right? This tool right here, the little X's, this moves everything around. So I keep everything kind of in the one area, right? Just because it's cleaner, so I'm not moving back and forth and back and forth. That's the teacher option. Remember, we student to teacher. Now students cannot play around with your tools, right? That's the Google Content button. And now I want to add a page. These buttons aren't useful until we add more pages. So now here we are with a blank page. This is the settings that I have on mine right now. It's yellow. So again, this button never moves. It's your background button. Okay. Let's just do something. No, I don't like that. Let's just do a white page. It'll be easier to read. Okay.
I like that.
Right? Me too. You can have a grid.
It's moving.
You can add the confidential sign. You can remove the time and the date. This is your background page again. Remember? That's the one that doesn't move. That's why I like to keep it all kind of here. So then, now you're like, where did my other pages go? Right? So that's when this toolbar becomes really exciting, right? So now we're going to toggle back and forth between Windows and my viewboard. But I'm going to throw a little wrench in the gear because there's this other thing up here that I don't know if you guys can see it. It's got a little arrow. You guys ever see that arrow? It's going to be scare you when it happens to you because it is so clear you can rarely see it. In fact, I need to put my glasses on too, make sure that I can see it. If you click that, something's going to happen here, and you're going to want to like say, oh, well, that's a pen, I can write with it. Now, that little device right there is Android, and we're not Android here. We're Windows-based operating system. That's what we do. So you're going to get here, and you're going to be like, whoa, what is this? What am I going to do here? Nothing. All else fails. You see the Windows button? Just go back to Windows. This device is both Android and Windows-based for different schools because some schools are Android-based. And these boards are for education. So both applications are here. You can't get rid of that. So my thought is just move it all the way up. So you see that? Move it all the way up there so it's out of the way every single time because you're going to find yourself clicking in it and you're like, oh no, I didn't want to go there. What do I do? Go back to Windows. Just see the Windows button, go back to Windows. Push it way out of the way. Okay. So moving back and forth between your PC, which you would consider your computer, and my viewboard is you click the Windows button, right? And here you are. You now know that you're still, see, this is the problem. You see all these things in here? Here's all my applications. They're all stuck kind of in the middle. It's a little messy now, right? A little convoluted. So if all of these were like over in here, then I could teach a little bit cleaner, right? Because you don't know if you actually click this. You might click into here or something, right? So I have to move this, but I can't move it because I'm not on the right thing. So now for teaching purposes, I'm going to move over here because it's cleaner for me, right? The problem here is that the background doesn't move the background button. So it's always best to go from that way over here. So you can toggle back and forth between Windows and my viewboard. And a lot of people like to work in Windows and they want to move content from the Windows program to my viewboard. So say this right here is Charlie. Hi Charlie. Whatever, let's just say our name's Char because that's all that's gonna show.
I like it.
Here she is. All right, and say you really want to do a document. You want Charlie to do a document in my viewboard. You're gonna want to go. This is the button right here that's pretty awesome. You can record, you can cut and paste, you can take the entire screenshot, but here I want just Charlie to do something, and so we're going to take Charlie's face here, and it's going to go into my viewboard. Okay, so because you're in my viewboard, anything that you pull content from in the Windows side, so if you find a document in here and you like the math problems worksheet or you pull different content, because you're in my viewboard, right? You have to be in my viewboard, the application, to be able to do this. You'll toggle back and forth and you can pull any kind of content you want, right? So you can, this right here, this is Sam, okay? Again, we're gonna go back to here. We're going to cut a little paste here, and this is Sam's document now, okay? So, Sam and Charlie are going to play tennis. Okay? Or, no, let's play baseball. I have to actually apply it though. That's something that needs to be done. All right. All right, now we have, they're going to be on a race to tell me how many diamonds there are on a baseball field, right? So this is their page, right? This is their own little thing going on. We're teaching something now. And you have to say, all right, Sam and Charlie, how many do you have, right? So this is where either the phone can be really awesome, or they can write themselves, you know, what they have going on. And she could be like, oh, well, there's 2. And then, oh wait, no, I changed my mind with your hand. I changed my mind. There's 3. And then Charlie's over here. She goes, no, there's absolutely 4. Okay, that's how you interact. So you can write things, you can erase things, simple like that. What's really cool is that if you have my companion, I could be like, oh, I'm Sam, right? And I'm going to sit in the classroom. And I'm sitting here now, and I'm going, oh, okay, Lena. I know how many bases there are on a baseball field. And I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna make sure that my name is correct, because your host name always connects to your board. Everything you guys ever do in a classroom, make sure that your board name is connected to any device you have working. We're gonna throw it. Boom. And the teacher goes, Lena goes, oh, well, what's the answer? Well, I just casted. So my name just pulled up into here. There we go. Here's my answer. Lena, what's the answer? 4. That's called casting. Casting is awesome. You know why casting is awesome? Because all of your kids can download the application on their laptops, and they can interact with you. They can give you the right answer, the wrong answer. It might be Joey, might be Bob, but Bob's answer, it'll always be dark until you say, oh, Bob, what's the answer? Oh, Bob, you were 3. Not correct, right? So you can do interactive, like, pop quizzes and things like that. Then you could say, all right, well, Sam, can you show me a picture of a baseball? And I'm going to go through here really quick. And I'm going to download a baseball. Pull an image, save it. All right. Let me save my image. I just got a brand new phone yesterday, so it's definitely having its thing. All right, maybe I'm not gonna pick the baseball right now. Say I'm gonna pick my kid if I want to pick something fun. You guys can see how old I really am. My daughter is, make sure that your host name is correct. You want to post a picture, which it is. It could be, you could download a picture. My phone is literally that brand new. We're sitting there, we're throwing a picture, and whatever it might be, whether it's a baseball or whatever, I go in here and I'm going to share this content with you guys. And drag and drop. There we go. That's a picture of my daughter and her friend. We could do lots of fun things with it. We could do anything we want in there. We can spin it around. We can make it interactive. We could decide that we don't want it at all. We could throw it away. That is what my companion is for. So you don't have to be anywhere. You could push content to your neighbor teacher as long as you have the correct host name.
I have a question. So let's say you have like 25 kids in your class. You don't have to like 25 like that.
No.
You can select them all and then plop all their answers up there?
That's right. And then they can get up there and they can tell you all about it, which is the greatest part. So if you're in a classroom and Susie's not paying attention because she's on her phone, right? I don't know what kind of kids you guys have. I have a high schooler. So these are weapons. And we want to make weapons tools to be successful, right? If we can't take these away, let's interact with them. That's why these application, my Viewboard Companion, is incredibly helpful to us at this point.
So if Kim and Jill don't get along, they teach next door to each other, they know what the other one's screen is, they can send stuff to them from their phones?
If they don't like each other?
Well, they don't. And so I worry a little bit about them, like trying to sabotage each other. Yeah.
So each teacher has, so if you're doing it from your laptop over here and then Susie sends Kim something inappropriate, right? Right? You're going to be able to log in here and you're going to see if you even want to add that. You have settings in your applications on your myviewboard.com after you get registered that you could say, I don't want Susie's content to be sent to me. Or I feel that Susie's content's inappropriate, so I'm just going to say I don't want that content. And I'm going to delete it. Nobody's going to ever be able to see it, especially if you put the security setting on your laptop. It'll be there. If you want to require content to be pushed through the teacher before it's posted, it's absolutely capable. Once you guys log in and get a MyViewBoard account, you guys, it's so important that when you do, you register, and you register instead of business, you type in education, right? It's just a little button. It says education or business. Click education, because that way there is a content filter that is already designed, because this is an education board, that will content filter anything that you guys have that your IT staff might not catch, which our company is always researching kids' information. So kids watching some inappropriate music video, it'll pop up. Most kids are populating this video. It won't populate here. It will never populate here unless you allow it. There's all these settings that you can put through and you're like, oh, that's friendly, that's useful. A lot of your IT staff already takes a lot of that away though.
And the iPads will work with this too?
Oh yeah. Yep, all the way across the board you can use iPads, you can use, yes?
Okay, so I'm actually going back to that YouTube clip that you brought over.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming you can save this. So if I create a presentation, I can save it and reuse it year after year. So if I take a clip from YouTube and I really like this lesson plan that I've created, then if YouTube drops that video for whatever reason, do I still have the video?
No, because you've embedded it through
I've
YouTube.
embedded into my presentation.
You've embedded YouTube. So if you have another website that you like to utilize, like maybe Skype for Education doesn't delete YouTube's. It'll tell you, you can write in notes what that content was. So if it does fall off, the notes, you could say this is a note of blah, blah, blah. You know, go through X, Y, and Z.
There is a website that allows you to save YouTube videos onto a computer. So if I had my own file that wasn't online, I could still import it to this,
Perfect.
correct? Okay.
Perfect, absolutely. You can do, this PC can do anything that your phone can do. Anything this can do, you can do. You know what's even better? If you guys get like a microphone or you have like a Logitech camera that's authorized to you guys, you could tell your board what to do, just like you do here. It's listening. This is listening too. It just doesn't have a capability. Be like, I want to watch a YouTube video for the World Series, you know.
Oh, I knew that part.
Right? Oh yeah, because then you get rid of this whole keyboard thing. And what's funny is that I've learned that all the teachers have a keyboard still. And most of the time when you get this board, it's not going to come with a keyboard. That's your keyboard. If you want to use it, you can make lots of different styles of it. There's a little microphone right there. That's when you click that, right? You have that application. We don't have it here. But you can change the board, make it smaller. I actually like it smaller. Everybody's like, well, why would you do that? Well, because I'm over here going A, B, C, D, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that at all, so I want to like do something really small here. So you could change that, but the way that you add a keyboard, which doesn't come installed, I mean, it does, but you have to click this. So when you find a box, that's when it's thinking. You pull it up, and it'll say, show touch keyboard. Click that. You want that. You want the keyboard. Because otherwise, you're going to have to find a way to install it. On top of that, who's a Google Chrome user here? We have Firefox users in here. Explorer. Good. We love Chrome users, because Chrome, it makes everything work between a Chromebook and your device. So it comes pre-installed with Explorer, which is kind of unfortunate, but that's the way that our PCs, so we have a PC back here, so it's a thinker. That's like HP, Dell type stuff. That's nothing that we can control. But you can go through settings and upload Google Chrome. I highly recommend it. Get rid of your Explorer bar, put down your Google Chrome bar, and everything is a little bit more user-friendly that way. So use it just like a regular PC or laptop. Okay, so let's get back to training here. So that was YouTube. Okay, so how to embed? We have to make sure that we're embedding through the application. We don't embed through here because this is not the application. This is the application. So if we want to go through other pages, right? This is all of the content that we had going on, right? These are what these buttons are for. We only have one page currently that we've done any real content on, so we can go back and forth between them. That's what this page is. It'll tell us that we only have one active page. Okay, now we have 3 active pages. The one that's on doesn't currently act. So after we get through all these pages, does anybody remember what this one does?
I just think it moves.
Yeah, it moves everything around. What's this one? You're a teacher. So if you want it to be a student activation, students. They only have access to the application. Teaching, students. Okay? That is a post pad, so we can add post pads, but we haven't added really any content to it. When you guys start writing and stuff, that's these applications that we can start doing that. That's your Google embedding. This is where you add a page. Okay, so that's your PowerPoint tool. Okay, back over there. What's that button? Anybody know?
Wait.
Background.
Backgrounds. Yeah, I got it. I got it too. It's okay. That right there is your sign in. Right, so if you don't see anything up in that left-hand corner, you're not signed in. Nothing will stay, nothing will save, and you only have half of these applications available to you. You'll be like, I can't understand why I can't erase anything. Well, that's because you're not logged in. So here's the toggling back and forth, right? So back to my view board, you can take and embed any content as long as you're logged into my view board through the web. You can now utilize these options right here. You can go through and be like, oh, well, I like this file. I'm not going to go through his stuff, but if he had like a math word sheet or whatever and he popped that up, I can cut it. That's a sock. He can cut it, and then we can embed it into, here, because we have the 2 girls that were already there. So casting is what I was just showing you guys, right? This is the casting button. When I recommend that when you guys are going through your settings and you're signing up for myviewboard.com, you click always enable casting. Okay, you can always turn it off, but if you don't enable it, it'll always be off, and you have to turn it on if you decide you're going to cast, right? This is through casting here. I can also cast through the computer over here, and I'll show you guys that in a minute. Now, this tool is only for casting, so if you want to turn it off, you just click this button and it's red, and it'll show red here too. So if you're not casting, you don't understand why, it's because that red button's on. That means it's off. You go through casting here and you turn it on. Ta-da! It's thinking. There. Now we're casting capabilities. I can cast from over there, and I'll show you a casting in a minute. You don't even have to be signed into myviewboard.com to throw something either. It just, okay. So then, now let's say, this is also not just a cut button. You can cut squares, you can create your own shapes. I should probably put some content in here though before we start playing around. Let's do hello class. Okay, so here's content, right? It's pretty basic. But say I wanted a little heart here. I just wanted this. Okay, there it is. It's a little confusing for now because it's all yellow and I have a different background. So if I wanted to get creative here, which is always helpful, you can apply another background. That's why it's cool to have all this, because backgrounds you'll find is way more important, because when you're throwing content, it might change colors. And so having this information is incredibly helpful. So that's what this tool does, right? So you're cutting and pasting. You can cut, paste, anything you want. We can videotape ourselves doing lessons. So if you're going to be out of class and you want to record your lesson plan for the day, which obviously I'm very basic with you guys. You got to think a little outside the box here. You click this button, click OK, and in 3, 2, 1, you're going to see I am now being recorded. Everything that we do on this board now is going to be recorded, and my voice is going to be recorded, which is really cool. So say we wanted to, you know, now we're recording right now. It says that we're recording here. If I wanted to throw content, and I wanted to go to YouTube, right, and we were just showing a lesson plan for the day, we can, I don't know, some of this stuff on YouTube today has been really scary. Okay, pulling content, right? Ta-da! Here we are, we're talking about it right now. Now I think we're done, right? If you want to create another page, let's create another page if we can. No, that's right, it froze again. Once we're done with that, we can either exit out, and now we're done. We press stop. Boom. Now, our content's here. Okay, and our volume right now, you want to make sure that, well, the install in here, guys, will be complete. But this is basically what I just did. It's showing the entire content. You can technically be out of class, and a substitute could just plug in a USB port for the day, and it says, start my view board, and they say, yes. And then all of a sudden they just, you know, click in here, and it's your voice basically doing the entire lesson plan, and then you can create through here. So you can record in my view board, and you can record outside of my view board. And you can either save it to your drive or not save it to your drive. You could save your content or not. So we don't need to save that. It says you want to save the recording? No. So that's this button right here. So you can cut pictures. That's not the button. You can cut pictures. Where is it? Let's go, buddy. Where'd you go? Did I miss it? That's weird. Move that. So see how it moved over there? File content sharing. So if I wanted to move all of my content for this anywhere around the board, and I wanted to have more space, I can make it really big, I can make it really small. So these are our tools, right? So when we're using tools, if you want to make it big, right here, you can make it really small, okay? Okay? Let's go. You can pick a different style pen, you can do paint through here, anything you want. It's 20 points of touch, so you can have 2 kids up on the board, or you can have multiple kids on the board, you know, and they could be doing their answers or what have you. So that's their pen. The eraser, remember, this right here, it's always this right here. You can add shapes, you can do texting, which is pretty cool. If you guys keep it on this application here where it's got the funny looking A, you can put an A, and then you can stroke it where it then creates the better A. So if you're teaching your kids how to do alphabet, and they come up there and they do, okay, I'm gonna do a letter A. Well, it's not correct, but you can then show them it's a B. And it has to be kind of politically correct, right? So if you do a backwards A, it's not gonna show it as a backwards A. If you do like a terrible 5, you know, that looks like an S, it's gonna become an S, right? So, see, look at it. If it doesn't look right, it's gonna populate something different. It's just one of those. It's like when you're using your smartphone and something funny happens. It's the same concept. So that's this button. If you want to do text button, you absolutely can. It's gonna pull up a keyboard. You can type however kind of format. Your keyboard also populates up there. Let's see. If you don't like what you saw and everything you did was awful, you can delete. You can bring it all back. You can bring back your boards, right? So here we are. Now I made a huge mess, right? I've made a huge mess, but you guys can kind of see like a lesson plan that you can create with it. On myviewboard.com/education, you guys can look at links. If you Google YouTube and Google Viewboard, any information, it'll tell you how to cast all over again. But again, recommendation, get yourself a login, a unique board name, write it all down, so when you do get your boards, You're uniquely adding it to here. You want to make sure that My Companion is set up for yourselves. If you decide to use your phone, a lot of teachers really liked it today. If you don't, that's totally fine too. You can use it just the way you want. If saving is right here, so that's your save button, right? You can save as, you can print it. You can actually print these pages like a PDF to your thing. You could save it as a JPEG, you could save it as a PDF, you could save it to a Word doc. You can do anything. The interaction won't necessarily work in a Word doc, right? But it works in here. And so when you save it to like myviewboard.com/your name, and you can basically log into any device with that My Companion, pull it up, and you can show your content. So it's not like you have to carry a USB stick around with you guys to, make sure you have your content. Any questions so far? It's pretty interactive. So, having the MyViewBoard, the application, like the actual link on your computer, and being able to toggle over all these things, it'll help you understand what you're doing with that. Looking at ViewBoard Education, they have lesson plans that teachers are going much slower than I am to tell you how they did their plans. I highly recommend Skype for Education. Skype for Education is a program that Skype has interacted with interactive boards and with teachers, that you can basically take a virtual tour to like a dinosaur museum in New York and say we can't afford to take our kids anywhere anymore, right? We have to get this funding and all these approvals. Not like when we were kids, they just jump on a bus. So now we have to do it kind of in an interactive format. You go to Skype for Education, you say, oh, I want to take my kids to this museum. I'm going to ask the teacher, or I'm going to say, I want to request a tour guide. And in Skype Education, there are programs that hire people that basically take you through the museum. So you'll get this guy, and it's free. These are all free documents. These are all free applications. And he works at the museum, and he's basically going to teach you, go through the entire museum with you guys. And it's really cool to be interactive with it because they have interactive boards that they're using, and you guys can work together. So say you're going through and there's like this kiosk that this, the museum, coordinator's walking you through, and it says, all right, which one is a brontosaurus and which one's a T-Rex? It'll populate through your interactive board, and the kids can come up and they can click which one's which. So you're interacting while you're going on these tours, and it's incredibly fun. So if you guys ever Google that, those applications are fantastic.
It's not a live person.
It is a live person.
Oh, they're right there with your class at that moment?
So what you do is you go through and you set up a meeting time, an appointment. You approve it through there. They show up. You show up at the same time that you're supposed to be there. I always recommend getting there like 5 minutes early because it's like a Zoom meeting. It's like a meeting, right? It's like a webinar. And your guy is basically saying, hey, thanks for joining. We're in classroom 10 right now, and we're going to go through this program. We're going to go through what's in this classroom together. All right, so, and then it'll show with you, and he'll have his interactive piece, and you'll be like, well, it looks like he's a fan of the 49ers. Does anybody know, who the 49ers played in the Super Bowl, right? And then, well, I'm a Bills fan, so it's been much longer for me. So anyhow, they go through these programs, and because they're with Google or with Skype for Education, they've already set their programs up, right, where they videotaped everything, and then they'll get to the kiosk, and the kiosk will then pop up to your interactive board, and it'll ask you a couple questions, and the kids then can come up and play on it. The goal here is to get the kids to play on these devices. It's not to keep it for the teachers only. The device is supposed to get the kid from looking down, not wanting to be interactive because they've been given cell phones and they don't go outside anymore, to make sure that they come up here and they turn around and they interact with you. And here they are. They're all standing here. Nobody wants to stand here anymore. Nobody. And it basically gets the kids to be wanting to touch your board. I guarantee you guys, at the end of the day, if you guys don't remember anything that I said, and you guys get this board updated on this device, just go here, give the kids the tools. Bring this bar down, right? Make sure that it's tall enough for your students. This is way too tall. I'm just gonna be honest with you. He's tall, but he's not that tall. I don't know what they were thinking when they put this here. We've got little kids out here, right? You're gonna use from here, right? So how often are you gonna be up here? Never. Okay, so when you guys are talking about installing these into your classroom, if you're not putting them on a cart, make sure that they're like just like a couple inches over your head. Because chances are the kids, you want the kids to play on.
They're already built in. You're gonna make Melania upset talking that way.
Oh, well, my bad.
Oh, we won't put them at the top. We'll put them at the bottom.
Yeah, well, as low as you can go, right? Because at the end of the day, these kids, especially like in 1st and 3rd grade or whatever, they're only going to be able to touch like to here. And you want the kids to touch the board, right? So if you guys are like working with like smaller kids, ask to get stands instead of having them mounted. Because if you can't push it, or have like this right here, there's no reason why there can't be a bar that's like moving up and down so all age groups can play with it.
Don't look at me, look at Melania. You guys keep looking at me. She's in charge.
My bad. Sorry, girl. I'm just trying to be helpful to all the students.
We can also get little step stools and platforms for the kids to stand on too.
Well, how often are they going to be just sitting right here, though? Kids are going to be like, have you seen me? I'm kind of like, you give them if you give them a stool, they might be falling off of it. If you put something in front of your interactive board, it's probably not going to be useful.
Ours are built in, that's why we're saying the building's been done. So
There's a
That's
cabinet.
okay.
There's a
You
cabinet
can pull.
underneath it.
You can have a mount that pulls out too, right? So it's flat. As long as
Can
it's
you
flat.
come to our school and reference?
Sure. I actually have been working with your school for 7 years, and you just didn't know it. It's okay. It's all good. Blame John Sclair and Vincent. I do technology.
You know, what we can also do is just use that extended hand right there to help the kids reach a little higher.
There you go. That's your friend.
Cheapest solution.
I wonder if this thing actually.
Still?
What has he got going on back here? 82.
Actually, the cupboards were designed, that whole design was meant with the TV there. So it is supposed to be low enough that the kids can reach it. And we are getting the measurements, the correct measurements, to make sure, like for the lower, the classrooms that are right there, those are first pretty much in kindergarten and 2nd grade. So they're going to be all the way down. If it needs to be up taller in the other wings, then they'll be up taller. Yeah. And we need to get like in there and see how does it work. Does it need a separate mount, you know?
Severed hands on a stick.
Okay, yeah. I don't recommend this, but this is kind of fun.
I bet that's what it's for.
Well, okay, so these right here, guys, these are your Wi-Fi antennas. Don't ever stick something on it. Okay, that's probably why my interaction board has been really lame right
So
now.
funny.
When you guys get your boards, by the way, you're not gonna have just 2, you're gonna have 4. You're gonna have this wild power strike that you're never gonna have this error unless there's internet down, right? So this is all about Wi-Fi connection, okay? If you have stuff on your Wi-Fi connection, you know, and you have this really cool this hand that's, you know, it's crazy. There's like fingertippy things in here. I don't know how dirty that was. That was probably wrong. But don't put that here. I don't know what to say to him, but.
My kid used to be in this class. That's if a kid gets caught picking their nose, they've got to pick it with that.
Awesome.
Yeah, make sure you wash your hands.
Sanitizer. Okay.
Can I ask, you had said to use the stylus, trying to get styluses versus fingers, but then with erasing, is there something
You have to
instead
use your
of
palm. Well, no, you actually can. You have an eraser button here. So if you click in here, you can make it bigger or smaller, right? And then you can use your stylus to erase it. He doesn't even have a stylus in here. The stylus, by the way, if you lose them, it's okay. There's no battery in it. It's not like, you know, they're just, you can even use a stylus off the back of your pen. But they're supposed to be right here, okay? These are magnets. You could store them here, but if kids like to steal stuff or, you know, make sure that they wanted it in their Christmas baskets too, you can keep them over there. But there are magnets here, but it's not like, you know, the pen is gonna die. The pen is almost free, in fact, so if you guys ever need more pens, just ask your IT department. But the stylus can erase. You can essentially use this entire board without using your hands. And also, it's incredibly sturdy. So if a kid decides he's going to get really upset at the board and just slam it, fear not, like you're on TV at home. This is Gorilla Glass, okay? So even if, not to say that we want the view board to fall, but say that it did fall and nothing was wrong with the PC side and nothing internally happened, this right here is super thick, okay? So fear not, this board is very strong. It's made for kids, angry kids, because I just implemented these into the state prisons and for the juvenile correction facilities, and these
Very
things,
similar to kindergarten.
they don't break. Yeah, well, you'd be surprised. We actually ended up having to take these antennas off because they were finding these as weapons. It was crazy. Yeah, lots of really interesting changes.
Well, you know those teachers when they don't do their job.
Wow. Okay, yeah?
Does the document camera hook up to this?
Of course. So that was the next thing that I would love to share with you guys. We are in a room that he does not believe in document camera at all.
He's got one, and it's in the little slot on this table near you.
He has one?
Yeah, underneath where you are, right there.
Oh, that thing's expensive too. You should hook that up. Okay, if you hook up your document camera, there's just a little document camera in and out right here. Hook that up. It'll have this little, it'll have this like, it'll look like a microphone or a microscope, which looks like a document camera. You click that, and all of a sudden you have live footage, just like you would of any content, and you can record your document camera. You can record everything that's going on. As long as you have it hooked up, it'll be right there. And you can
So
record
you might
anything.
get-
You can
are
snapshot.
Are there hookups for the document camera built in already, or are we just gonna have a wire hanging out the side of the TV?
A wire hanging out the side of your TV.
Yeah. So I recommend.
It's
so
wired, not wireless.
Well, I didn't know if you had one like going from the TV into the back panel and then through the walls
Over
to
to
the
the teacher's
teacher
desk.
workstation.
Oh no, nope.
I don't know how they're
We
built,
don't. We have that for audio and for HDMI over to the teacher's
This
desk.
is not a
Well,
okay.
Bluetooth device.
Yeah,
HDMI, some of the document cameras are HDMI, so,
yeah.
Could
Maybe
work.
that'll work.
okay.
Yeah, you can through your HDMI here. Sure.
Like it's gonna have to reach.
Well, you'll have that little cabinet right there, so it would just set right there and plug into the TV, just right on the counter.
And we're getting those speakers that we've heard before.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
everybody, so these are here. So this is your volume control. I don't know if you guys have this. I'm learning. I don't build any of this. This is your IT guys right here. But this is going to be your volume control, and you can turn it up and down. It goes throughout the entire classroom, which I have learned is pretty cool actually. Again, if you have a Logitech camera through here that has a voice activation, you can basically wire that to your board through the back of here, and you can basically voice control instead of typing anything if you guys don't want to type things. Document camera will be right here. It's in this box. This is the box of fun. That's what I like to call this. Because pretty much everything that you'd ever think was a crapshoot is in there. So if you wanted to drag any document that you had from your PC, here's the format you'd go into. And I'm not going to dig into his. But you can record here. You can throw in that. You remember that thing I just did was, how many diamond or how many.
Yes.
You can click through there. You can add your document camera, which should be right there, and you can record off of that. You can throw from here to a phone or to if I didn't like what Susie was doing and I was having a private, and I didn't want to, say out loud, hey Susie, you're playing with Johnny over there and I'm not a fan. You can actually throw content from your laptop or, obviously you're at a view board so everybody can see, but you could sit at your computer and say, hey, you can write in that little taskbar here. Hey Susie, I don't like what you're doing. Please stop.
To their Chromebooks probably,
their
or their
Chromebooks,
phones
yeah.
or whatever, because these are elementary kids.
Oh yeah, to their Chromebooks. You could say stop. Please stop messing around. It can actually be. It could be a silent thing, or it could be like an interactive thing. You can make things really silent if you want. Everybody could be like in colleges right now. Like we don't pick on people, right? We just be like, you're being inappropriate. Can you please leave? That's content that we can shoot from our laptop to your Chromebook from this board that nobody has to see at all, which is pretty cool. You just have to play around with the program. So again, you guys have to download the application, fill in the application, download it on your laptop, start playing around with it before this view board gets to you guys. If you guys have any questions, I have cards. My view board /education. It'll teach you all the different things, how to cast in a very slow format. So everything I just taught you guys, it's gonna go right out the window. There might be one or two things that you catch, which is totally normal. Good for you if you caught two. And keep it. So don't fear this. At the end of the day, if you really want to see what it can do, put it in student mode. Okay? Put it in student mode. Bring down this application here, this toolbar. Give them 20 minutes on that board. Give 5 minutes to each kid. I guarantee you they're going to teach you something that you had no idea about. Because all of these, like I said, all of these icons, they were put there for kids by kids. They know exactly what they're doing. We pulled these from video games. We pulled these from their hottest things that they pull from Snapchat. These images mean the world to them. So they know what they're doing with them if you don't. which is really cool. So they'll teach you more than you think.
They always do.
I know, right? I'm learning every day. Oh, one more thing. So, like, I was going to show you guys really quick. Sitting at your laptop. If you're at your laptop and you want to, like, you know, work here instead, you know, instead of being at your phone, you don't want to be here. You can log in to myviewboard.com. And we're going to go through his contact real quick. So it'll say, throw to my view board. You don't have to be signed in or anything. What's your name? My name is Lena. My host name, it has to be correct, case sensitive. So it's capital L-E-N-A, capital C-U-L-L. And now I'm going to throw content. And this is something that your kids can just go on to myviewboard.com. They don't actually have to be logged in. They don't have to have a login. And it'll say, drag a file to here. So I'm just going to grab something from his desktop here. Hope it's not inappropriate. So it's been sent. You then pull content, so we're going to get out of teacher mode. We're going to go back to teacher mode here. We're going to pull our content, anything casting. Oh, I double clicked it. Don't double click it. I just want to.
No.
Oh, yeah.
If we have another commitment, or can we maybe go if we have a commitment?
Yeah, no, I have to go too because I have to drive back to Sacramento.
Yeah.
But we can sign up for this anytime.
Anytime you want.
Right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
There you go. So you can do it from your computer too. You do not have to be sitting here to download content. Okay? Oh yeah, I definitely have to